I discovered my wife had been cheating on me for years, multiple affairs, some emotional, at least one physical. The details were horrific. I spent a year trying to save our marriage, a year of agony, questioning, and being gaslit into thinking I was crazy. And yesterday, I asked her if she even wants to keep trying. She looked me in the eyes and said honestly, no. Now I've not just betrayed and lied to, I'm rejected. And I have a 9-year-old son who's about to watch his family fall apart. This is my story. I don't even know what the purpose of sharing this is. Maybe I just need to say it out loud. Maybe I need someone to tell me I'm going to survive this. Maybe I just feel as low as I could have ever imagined, and I need support from people who've been where I am and somehow made it to the other side. Because right now, I'm drowning, and I can't see the surface.
About a year ago, everything I thought I knew about my marriage shattered in an instant. I found out my wife had cheated on me. Not recently, years prior. And not just once, multiple times. Several emotional affairs over several years. At least one of them, and I do believe from the information I've been able to piece together that it was only one, became fully physical. The details of what happened are absolutely horrific. The kind of details that play on repeat in your mind at 3 in the morning when you can't sleep. I'll never know the full extent of what she did. She's never given me the complete truth. Every time I think I have the whole story, some new detail emerges that changes everything I thought I understood. It's like trying to solve a puzzle when someone keeps hiding pieces and occasionally adding new ones that don't fit with what you already know.
I need to be honest here. I have a lot to answer for in the deterioration of our marriage. I wasn't a perfect husband. There were ways I failed her, ways I didn't show up, ways I could have been better. I know that. I own that. But here's what I also know with absolute certainty. I was always faithful. Always. I was always committed to our marriage, to our family, to the vows we took. That never wavered, not once, no matter how hard things got. The past year has been pure agony, and here's what makes it even worse. I had my suspicions for years before I found out the truth. Years of feeling like something was off, like she was distant, like there were secrets I wasn't being let in on. But every time I brought it up, every time I questioned what was happening, she gaslit me. She manipulated me into thinking it was all in my head, that I was being paranoid, that I was the problem, that my insecurities and jealousy were creating issues that didn't exist.
I was definitely intense with all my questioning. I know that. The emotional roller coaster I was on made me ask the same questions over and over, made me need reassurance constantly, made me analyze every word and every action, looking for proof of what I suspected. And she made me feel crazy for it. She made me feel like I was destroying our marriage with my unfounded accusations. But they weren't unfounded. I was right the whole time, and she knew it. She doesn't understand how normal my behavior is in this situation. She thinks my intensity, my questioning, my emotional reactions are mostly down to me and my flaws. She sees my response to her betrayal as another example of me being difficult, rather than a completely understandable reaction to discovering your partner has been lying to you for years. She's rewritten history in her mind so that somehow my pain about her affairs is really just another manifestation of the problems I brought to the marriage.
Early on in our reconciliation attempt, I said I wanted out. I couldn't see how we could possibly recover from this. The betrayal was too deep. The lies were too extensive. The pain was too overwhelming. I wanted to end it and start trying to heal. But she said she didn't want that. She said she wanted to fight for our marriage. She said she wanted us to try. She said our family was worth saving. So I kept trying. Maybe I didn't try in the right ways all the time. Maybe I wasn't always fair. Maybe I brought my hurt and anger into conversations that needed to be calmer. Maybe I asked for reassurance too often. Maybe I made mistakes in how I attempted to rebuild trust. But I tried. I genuinely tried with everything I had.
We have a 9-year-old son, a beautiful, innocent boy, who has no idea his parents' marriage is falling apart around him. And the thought of breaking up our family, what it will do to him, is absolutely unbearable. The thought of me having to give up half of what remains of my time with him due to joint custody makes me physically sick. Right now, I see him every day. I tuck him in every night. I'm there for breakfast every morning. And I'm facing a future where I might only have him every other weekend and one night during the week. The idea of missing half of his childhood, half of his milestones, half of his daily life, it's destroying me. So I've been holding on, trying to make it work, despite the pain, despite the broken trust, despite the knowledge of what she did. For him, for our family. Because I thought she wanted to try too. Because she told me she wanted to save our marriage.
And yesterday, I asked her a simple question. Do you even want to keep trying? I needed to know if we were both still fighting for this, or if I was the only one carrying the weight of reconciliation. I needed to know if there was any hope, or if I was torturing myself for nothing. She looked at me, and she said honestly, no. She doesn't want to keep trying. She's done. She's given up. After I stayed, after I fought, after I tried to move past the betrayal for the sake of our family, after everything I've put myself through this year to try to rebuild what she destroyed, she doesn't want to try anymore.
So here I am now, rejected, on top of betrayed, on top of lied to. It's not enough that she cheated on me for years. It's not enough that she gaslit me when I suspected. It's not enough that she made me feel crazy for having completely reasonable concerns. Now she's also rejected me, decided I'm not worth the effort of reconciliation, decided our marriage isn't worth fighting for after all, decided our family isn't worth preserving. I feel like I'm drowning and I can't find the surface. Every time I think I've hit bottom, the floor drops out again and I fall further. First, it was the discovery of the affairs. Then it was the slow trickle of additional details that kept making it worse. Then it was the realization that she blamed me for my reaction to her betrayal. And now, it's the rejection. The final confirmation that I was never enough. That our marriage was never worth saving in her eyes. That she was just going through the motions when she said she wanted to try.
What kills me is that she was the one who convinced me to stay. I was ready to leave. I wanted out. It hurt too much to stay. But she begged me to try. She promised she wanted to make it work. She said our family was worth fighting for, and I believed her. I put aside my own pain and my own need to escape, and I stayed. I tried. I fought. I suffered through a year of agony, trying to rebuild trust with someone who had shattered it beyond recognition. And now she tells me she doesn't want to try anymore. I wonder if she ever really wanted to try, or if she was just buying time, if she was just avoiding the immediate fallout of me leaving, if she was just trying to control the narrative and the timeline. Maybe she needed to be the one who gave up, rather than the one who was left. Maybe she needed to feel like she had the power in this situation, after I discovered her secrets.
Or maybe she genuinely thought she wanted to try and then realized she couldn't. Maybe the guilt was too much. Maybe she couldn't stand looking at the pain in my eyes every day. Maybe she couldn't handle the work that real reconciliation requires. Maybe she discovered she doesn't actually love me enough to fight through the hard parts. I don't know which explanation is true, and I'm not sure it matters. The result is the same. I'm alone. I'm devastated. I'm facing the destruction of my family, and I'm terrified of what comes next. I think about my son constantly. How do I tell him? How do I explain that Mommy and Daddy aren't going to be together anymore without telling him why? He's 9. He doesn't need to know his mother cheated. He doesn't need to carry that knowledge. But what do I say instead? How do I protect him from this pain while also being honest with him? How do I help him through this when I can barely help myself?
And the custody situation haunts me. Joint custody sounds fair on paper, 50-50, equal time. But it's not equal for me because I don't want any time away from him. I want to be there for everything. I want to tuck him in every night. I went to make him breakfast every morning. I went to help with homework and hear about his day and be present for every moment of his childhood. And I'm facing a reality where I'll miss half of it, where some other man might eventually be there for the moments I'm not, where my son might call someone else's home.
People say kids are resilient, that they adapt, that divorce is common and children survive it. And I know that's true, but it doesn't make it easier. It doesn't make the thought of shattering his sense of security and stability any less painful. It doesn't make me any less terrified of how this will affect him long term. Will he trust relationships? Will he believe in marriage? Will he blame himself, even though none of this is his fault? I'm also terrified for myself. Who am I without this marriage? I've been with her for so long that I don't remember how to be alone. I don't know how to date. I don't know if I'll ever trust anyone again. I don't know if I'll ever be able to open my heart to someone new without constantly waiting for them to betray me the way she did. I don't know if I'm capable of vulnerability after this.
And there's the practical nightmare too. Dividing assets, selling the house we built together, splitting our lives down the middle. Lawyers, court dates, financial strain. All of it happening while I'm trying to process the emotional devastation of betrayal and rejection. Some days I'm angry, furious that she could do this to me, to our son, to our family. Furious that she wasted a year of my life pretending to try when she apparently had no intention of actually fighting for us. Furious that she gets to walk away while I'm left picking up the pieces. Other days I just feel empty, hollowed out, like she took something essential from me and I'll never get it back.
I don't know how to move forward. I don't know how to be a good father to my son when I can barely function myself. I don't know how to rebuild my life when everything I built it around is gone. I don't know how to trust my own judgment anymore when I was so wrong about the person I married. I don't know how to see a future that doesn't look completely bleak. And yet I know I have to keep going. For my son, for myself. Because staying in this pit of despair isn't an option. Because my son needs at least one parent who is present and stable and capable of helping him through this. Because somewhere deep down, buried under all this pain, there's a part of me that knows I deserve better than someone who could betray me repeatedly and then give up when I tried to forgive.
I need to believe that I'll surface eventually, that this drowning feeling is temporary, that there's air above this water even though I can't see it right now. I need to believe that other people have been this low and somehow climbed back up, that this isn't the end of my story, even though it feels like it. If you've made it this far, thank you for listening. If you've been through something similar and made it to the other side, please tell me how. Please tell me it gets better. Please tell me I'm going to survive this, because right now, I can't see how. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment below and share your experience. Have you been through a similar betrayal? Did you try to reconcile? Did your partner give up on trying? How did you survive it? I genuinely need to hear from people who've been here and made it through, because I'm lost and I need hope.
We share real stories like this every week. Stories about betrayal, rejection, survival, and somehow finding a way forward, even when it seems impossible. If you want to see more content like this, visit our channel and turn on notifications. Remember, you're not alone, even when you feel completely isolated. There are others who understand this specific kind of pain, and somehow they survived, which means maybe, just maybe, I can too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.